Hey everybody, it's David with Axis and welcome to the Raising Gen Z Summit. Have we got some awesome content for you to help you enter into your kids' world, understand where they're coming from, and really connect to their heart and disciple, mentor, and influence them. And so to get us started, I have a question for you. This is a real story. So let's say you find a box in your kid's closet. What do? Here's the real story. I have a friend. He was looking for something in his son's room. He couldn't find it. Started looking in his son's closet. He found a box. And when he opened the box, he found an open box of condoms and a half-consumed bottle of whiskey. What would you do in that situation? Well, clearly my friend freaked out a little bit, but then he called his wife. They prayed, they cried, and then they put those artifacts on the coffee table for their son to come home. And when their son came home, they confronted him about it and talked about it. And it had a really great ending to the story, is that the son felt ashamed. He felt like they were going to disown him, felt like he could not talk to his parents about this. And so it ends up that they were able to talk about it, create some great boundaries, and have the relationship restored. Now, as we think about Gen Z, there's a lot of things that can be freaky that's going on in their world. And so as one mom said to me, she said, David, whenever I come across something like at the box and it freaks me out, I either become silent because I'm just tired of losing, or I become violent and I yell at my kids and I freak out. And so here's the deal. You can try to be like these parents. I had a mom say to me one time, she said, we're trying to raise our kids like it's the 1950s. Which sounds great, but it's 70 years later, it's 2020. We need to raise our kids for a world like this one. Or you might feel like this mom right here, and she's just like, I'm done, I'm so tired of it.
I hereby denounce the effects that social media have on my children, their disobedience and their disrespect. Charlie. Set her up. I refuse to be disobeyed. I take back my role as your parent.
So you might freak out over the rectangles in our lives. And here's the deal. I've been thinking a lot about the box and what's in it. And it's a great metaphor because we all have our boxes, don't we? And every generation has their different complexities. But when it comes to the rising generation, when it comes to Gen Z, two seismic shifts, the smartphone and actually their generation. And the smartphone is the box, and what's inside it is all the trends and topics that are going on for their generation. And so here's the deal. Our goal with this Raising Gen Z Summit is to help you open the box. I'm actually going to slide over here. If you look over here, you signed up here. This is why you're seeing that video. You have to ask yourself, where else are you going to be able to be in contact with all of these amazing Christian leaders, thought leaders? And so as I even look at this, I just remember the interview with Keller is going to be amazing. Get excited for it. Some of our favorite folks are Chris and Beth Bruno, helping with rites of passage. Incredible content. Dr. Christopher Yuan, one of the leaders in understanding same-sex attraction. If you have a daughter, Jesse Manassian is amazing. Nick Vujicic, oh my word, be the hands and feet as he's talked to millions of students. Arlene Pelican, she's going to help you with your technology. Kathy Cook, one of our favorites of all time, propaganda hip-hop artist, great content in there. Rick Warren gets very vulnerable, very personal. Dr. Paul David Tripp, his stuff is always just gets to the heart of the matter. Again, look at all of this content we've put together for you to help you open the box, which is your kids' world, and have great conversations with them and help guide them. And so as I continue and kind of finish off the rest of this opening keynote, a couple of ideas you need to know is that Access is in your corner. Our job is to help you be ready to have great conversations with your kid. And so wouldn't it be awesome if you felt prepared? Wouldn't it be awesome if you had a whole team of research assistants that's Access, that's in your corner? Wouldn't it be amazing to not feel embarrassed? And so as you think about your kid, again, we're talking about Gen Z. That's what's inside the box, and then we're actually going to talk about the phone. So I'm going to spend the rest of this introduction to the Raising Gen Z Summit to help you have a heart connection with your kid and help you think deeply about their world and their generation. So a couple things you have to think about first is, how is a generation determined? I love certainty, and so this is one of those things that's kind of mushy, but you're looking at demographics, attitude, historical events, popular culture. And so when it comes to Gen Z, we're looking at kind of an estimation. And so this is pretty much, if your kid's in high school right now, maybe 20 or 21, it goes all the way up there, but usually it's kind of mushy, plus or minus 3 years on each side. as you look here at stylists, they looked at all the different generations that people have like noted over the years and put together some of the ideas that have to do with that. And so generally speaking, you're looking at the silent generation, boomers, Gen X, then you have Gen Y or millennials, and then Gen Z over here. And so every generation has its own complexity. I was just speaking at an event, and so we had like a panel, and there was a grandfather there, and he's like, look, we had challenges that we faced, just like the rising generation has the smartphone and their challenges. We've got to bring the generations together. And so Gen Z, you're looking at someone born probably around 1996 or later. Something that's very important is they do not remember 9/11. I mean, I remember exactly where I was when that happened. They also make up about a quarter of the United States, and they're on their way to about a third of the United States population, and they love spending your money. So they spend about $44 billion a year, so they have a lot of attention for major different brands. So that's a little bit about Gen Z. Now, when it comes to their phones, of course, they're facing all kinds of different issues, and the phone is bringing it to their pockets, is bringing it to them. The 50% of 10-year-olds in the United States of America have smartphones. And then if you think about worldwide, I had a friend of mine from Africa. He's like, David, he's from Kenya. He's like, not everyone has access to clean water, but everyone has a smartphone. So at Axis, we think about 4 T's: trends, topics, teachers, and themes. And with the Raising Gen Z Summit, we're going to bring you experts in all of these areas to help you stay connected to the heart of your kid. But as we kind of give you like a little intro with this, with trends, it's always easy to talk about slang. I asked my kids if they wanted to watch Netflix and chill. They laughed at me. I don't get it. Every mom. I asked a student to explain Netflix and chill to his mom. He said, hooking up. And then I had to help him explain, what does hooking up mean? And hooking up means having sex. Typically having sex with someone you don't really know. And so Netflix and chill is a euphemism for that. Broccoli is slang for marijuana. The eggplant emoji means male anatomy. There's an entire sexual dictionary of emojis. And then this is good old Luke Skywalker here. And so if someone were to say Skywalker, typically what I would think of is Luke Skywalker from Star Wars, but it's actually a strain of marijuana. And as I was researching this online, it's supposed to have earthy flavors, hints of lemon, and a nice diesel finish. So again, there's so many different slang terms, so many new things flying at you, and we are going to bring experts to help you discuss all of these topics with your kids. And here's the crazy thing. Not only is it the words that we're using, but it's the different types of products. So this is a Juul, and you can actually vape marijuana with it. But kids and it's an amazing device because you don't have to light it, you don't smell like it. You can vape flavor or nicotine or cotton candy cannabis, as you can see here. So there's always gonna be something new that's changing. We're bringing the best experts to you to help you think about it. The other T that we think about at Axis is topics. So social media is big for this. I was talking to a mom. She says her greatest competition is support groups. And I said, what do you mean by that? She says, if I disagree with my kids in real life, they will find someone that agrees with them online and help them have a defense against me. So Anna stands for anorexia, Mia is for bulimia, Deb is for depression, Sue is for suicide. There are pro-Anna, pro-Mia, pro-Deb, pro-Sue communities online to help our kids meet their weight loss or their self-harm goals. American Psychological Association said that Gen Z is the most connected generation of all time, yet the loneliest. Then for teachers, so trends, topics. Now, talking about teachers, this just means experts. And so I'll pull the volume down here just a little bit, but this is a song from Billie Eilish. I had a dad say to me, he says, who is Billie Irish? And he was thinking about a man. I'm like, Billie Eilish is one of the leading experts on what it means to be human for the next generation. This is her top song from her last album. I'm that bad type, make your mama sad type, make your girlfriend mad type, might seduce your dad type. I'm the bad guy. And so if you don't know who this is, then it's hard to have a great conversation with your kid about her. And when it comes to experts, I know the experts that we look to are the ones that were on that other webpage. But the next generation, Gen Z, is looking to these experts. This is a bunch of YouTube influencers, but now it's TikTok influencers or Instagram influencers. And then finally, for themes, these are just big conversations. So trends, topics, teachers, and themes. Our summit's going to help you with all of these topics. And one of the major themes is sexuality. Because if we're not willing to raise our kids and to have deep conversations about it, then Google is happy to do it for us. And so whether this is a YouTube song, this is from pre-Christian Kanye West. When he released this album, or when he released the single, this is the chorus for the song, I love it. You're such an effing hoe, I love it. You're such an effing hoe, I love it. And this was supposed to be a celebration of femininity. And so again, you have this pornified culture, then sexting, of course. We were at a school and a young man texted another girl and said, you have 10 days to send me a nude photo or I'm going to kill you. And then proceeded to count down the days. And so if you're hearing this, you're probably like, oh my goodness, this is freaking me out. I might feel like I want to be silent. I might want to just take my kid's phone away. Our goal is not for you to freak out, but to equip you with some of the greatest teachers and thinkers with this content. And the sad news is that she sent him a nude photo on day one, and he proceeded to sell it to 50 of his friends via Venmo. And they all got kicked out of the school. And so this was an incredibly challenging situation for the family. But when it comes to sexuality, it's not just pornography, it's not just sexting, it's gender. With Tumblr, it has over 100 different gender options for our kids to choose from. So they need to hear our voice speaking into this. And again, we're bringing you some of the best experts. So that's the landscape. That's the box, which is a smartphone, and what's in it is Gen Z. And then here, Axis, just so you know a little bit about us, I'm a co-founder with another guy named Jeremiah. I'm the president, and our job is to be your research assistant. Our goal is to connect the wisdom of parents with the wonder of their kids. In a world full of fearful things where we can be silent or violent, our calling is to help parents be confident, to be ready for the conversation. And I'm telling you, the Raising Gen Z Summit will help you do that. I mean, we're bringing you the best content for free. And you just have to know that we're in your corner in this situation. We're going to help you open the box. And then our mission for the last 13 years has been to build lifelong faith through deeper relationships. One of the reasons I started Axis is from this picture. I'm on a mission trip in this. These are three of my buddies, Bible in hand. They're all doing amazing things around the world. The sad reality, though, is that all three of these guys are now atheists. The current scary stat is that 42 million Christian teens will leave Christianity by 2050 if nothing changes. And at Axis, we believe the greatest intervention is you, a caring adult, a grandma, a grandpa, a mom, or a dad, to enter into their kids' world. We're interviewing Dr. Tim Keller in the Raising Gen Z Summit, but you can see here he gave us this endorsement. He says, I wish there were hundreds of groups like Axis. We're losing the next generation, and we need help from people like Axis to reach teenagers. And then our strategy is what we call culture translation. So we see ourselves as a cultural bridge, but if C.S. Lewis and MTV, if they made a baby, they would name their baby Axis, or maybe C.S. Lewis and TikTok. And then our metric is how many great conversations can we start between you and your kid about things that matter. That's our calling. So as you enter into this amazing Raising Gen Z Summit, just know that you have an army of researchers at your disposal. We are here for you. We're in your corner. You have what it takes. Daily, we're thinking about trends, topics, teachers, and themes that I mentioned earlier. Daily, we're thinking about technology and the smartphone. We're thinking about Gen Z, and we've created a full suite of resources to just help make your life easier, to help make your conversations deeper, to help build trust between you and your kids. And right now, we're looking at that parenting summit, that online conference. So a few final thoughts, and then I'll let you get to the experts. I had a young lady say to us, David, the stricter the parent, the sneakier the child. And when she said that, she and her mom had quite the disagreement over smartphones. And what had really happened is that the smartphone had become an adversary between the two of them instead of something that drew them closer together. And there's just a constellation of issues out there I'm sure you're feeling. And it's probably making you want to just be like, I just quit, I give up, or I just want to just take it all away. I just want you to know we're going to help you be confident and build trust. And through this entire Raising Gen Z Summit, we're going to help you with this. And this is actually the antidote to that stricter, sneakier riddle. I had Grandpa Bob solve it for me. It's actually a guy named Bob Lapine who answered this question that we interviewed for the Gen Z Summit. He says, are you raising a sin concealer or are you raising a sin confessor? We are going to help you open the box so that your kid is not a concealer and help them become a confessor and help you connect to the heart of your kid so that they will say this of you. And you need to tell this to your kid frequently. Tell them that you can tell me anything. And we believe that your kid will say, I can tell my mom anything. I can tell my dad anything. So again, take that time to invest in your child's life and ask yourself, can your child tell you anything? And could you tell your parents anything? And do you want to change that narrative? Yes, you do. Every year, a new generation of kids graduates from high school. And you're working hard for your kids. But the one thing that we can't get back is time. And just so you know, you're going to have so much time to spend with them, and there's going to be no one more influential than you in their lives. And they have to know that we are only as sick as our secrets. And so as you're entering into the Gen Z Summit, let's go back to that original situation. You find a box in your kid's closet. What do? Well, clearly you're going to open that box and there's going to be a chance to freak out, and you want to invite the Holy Spirit into that situation. But we want you to know that the Gen Z Summit is going to help you care as much about the box as what is in it. See, the box could be anxiety, it could be doubt, it could be vaping, it could be marijuana, it could be TikTok, it could be Instagram, it could be sexting, it could be pornography, it could be all these like really scary things, and we're bringing you experts on that. But they're not just going to help you understand the issues, they're going to help you understand how to open that box. Because what's inside the box can kill your body, but the box will actually kill your soul. The box represents separation from God, isolation, separation from your family, this right to privacy. And the Bible's very clear. We're made for community, and we're better in community than we are in isolation. So thank you for joining us for the Gen Z Summit. This is going to help you open the box. This is going to help you connect into your child's heart. And this is going to help you reverse this story that I'm about to tell you that's really intense. We had a young lady say to us that she's only had one real conversation with her dad. And we heard that. We're like, this is not good. There's going to be so much that's lost in translation. But then she smiled and she said it again. She says, I've only had one real conversation with my dad, and we've never stopped having that one conversation. So as you open that box, realize that if you are a caring adult who's a parent, you're going to have a 60-year conversation with your kid. And you are investing time in it right now with this Raising Gen Z Summit. If you're a grandparent, you're going to have a 30-year conversation. If you're a youth worker, a caring adult, you're going to have a 2-year conversation, a 6-year conversation. Your influence matters to the rising generation. And why this matters to me is because of my kids, and I'm totally invested in Access because of this. This is my daughter, Shiloh. This is her on school picture day. And again, I'm going to have one conversation with her that lasts a lifetime. And so as you enter into this incredible series of interviews with experts on this topic, remember, they're going to help you understand deeply what's inside the box, but they're also going to help you understand the box, how to open it, and how to stay connected to your kid's heart. I'm telling you, there's no other place where you can find content like this. And I want you to know that Access, at access.org, our entire team exists to serve you as you disciple the next generation. Thank you for letting us be on this journey with you. You have what it takes. And let's go watch some incredible interviews.